fantastic.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hang on. Jesus Christ. Hey! Hey, everybody. Welcome back
All
to the
right,
Fans
stop.
of Motion
Stop,
Yes,
stop,
it's
Podcast.
stop.
recorded.
No.
Your
All right,
last
here we go.
recorded.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Fans of Motion Podcast, the only podcast. Jesus, you didn't know you needed. I say to my friends looking back at me, you can still rock in America. That's all I got. Fuck it. Josh, how you doing? Brent, how you doing? Robin, how you doing?
I love your little circle.
You're a lot more professional on, your Olivia Newton-John podcast.
I feel like I'm like Happy Days here, you know.
Oh, there you
Sunday,
go.
Monday, happy days. I'm actually gonna hide my self view, so I have to look at myself. There you go. It looks much better.
Like the Brady Bunch.
Jesus.
All right, let's give some people some context. We've been waiting probably 40 minutes for Andrew to be able to log on.
Yeah, Josh was actually early tonight.
And I was on time.
and this is what we get. We've been waiting for Andy, and
then you get this view.
Yeah. So there we go. So do your thing. You're supposed to introduce, and staring back at me and all that stuff. Give the people what they want.
I don't know what they want. I'm in a very flustered state right now. I was gonna do some Rockin' America for everybody. I had lined up. Little brother's got it ready to roll. Tires burning as the head for the show. Light it up and turn the music on loud and rock it, rock it, rock it. Say hello, Josh.
That would have been a great intro if only you could get your Zoom going.
This fucking technology shit.
But look at this. We got Andrew, we got Rockin' Robin, we got Brent Tree, and we're all here to celebrate the new news of Night Ranger releasing a brand new record in October. From the Danny Ripepi Contemporary Youth Orchestra show. Were any of you guys there?
Incidentally, we all were there.
Yeah, I think we were all there, weren't we?
Yeah.
Lots of debauchery.
It was a fun. We had a few people there.
Yeah,
should see me.
Some people had some drinks.
That was where the night before, I think me and Levy, I'd stop at Grandpa's Cheese Barn on the way to Cleveland, got a whole bunch of good expensive cheese, and me and him sat at one of the bars till about 3 a.m, drinking beers and going through the cheese and eating it. Good stuff. But so
no, I love cheese so much that one of the employees there tried to find a cheese I wouldn't like, and I still kept liking them.
Yeah, it used to
even Limburger.
I don't know if I tried that one, but
okay.
He was just finding like the Worcester cheese, different beer cheeses and stuff.
It used to be you go through Grandpa's Cheese Barn. This is a big place right off 71 going to Cleveland, and they would have samples out. Now I think they've stopped doing that since COVID and everything, but you would go through and shit, that's a really good cheese, and you would all right, put that in my cart, and that little block would be $10. Next thing you know, you're spending $150 on cheese.
And I got lucky then. I just had them handed to me.
Well, they'll do that.
If you ask, they'll do it.
Yeah, so they'll hand you samples and stuff now. There's a couple cheeses they will not give you samples of because it stinks so bad that they've got to keep it sealed. Because I remember I was going to buy one. I was like, hey, get a slice of this. I'm like, no, we can't. So,
all right, this has been hot cheese talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, hot cheese.
That's useful to know.
That's why you come to the Fans of Motion podcast, not for the exclusive Night Ranger info, the hot cheese talk.
Definitely. So
I mean, it fits with our cheesy thing.
So Night Ranger and Frontiers had the big release today, the press release that the record that we have all been waiting on is finally got a release date. So October 20th. There you go.
Ooh.
A week or so before Halloween. So celebrate 40 years of rock and roll with Night Ranger.
Yeah.
Their brand new live album, 40 Years and a Night with the Contemporary Youth Orchestra, will be released October 20th. Available on CD, vinyl, including limited editions, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. They also released the live music video of You Can Still Rock in America. And like I said, this is recorded from, in Cleveland on November 9th, 2022, which was the Danny Ripepi, the second annual, well, I won't say it's annual anymore, but the second memorial concert that they had last year. So, let's start with, well, let's just start with us at the show. What are your memories of the show? Was that the I think like the Playhouse Square Theater?
Yeah.
Central Bank, Key Bank Theater, sponsored by Dodge Truck or some shit, right?
Like Playhouse Square. Yeah.
So it was a really cool theater in Cleveland, and
second to Broadway.
So you had Night Ranger on the stage, and then behind them, up on a riser behind them, you had the Contemporary Youth Orchestra. Basically, it's an organization where children between the ages of 12 and 18, that basically after school, they, do all these different, orchestra, concerts and everything else. They've done stuff with Tommy Shaw and Kenny Loggins, Styx. I know there's more, but so Night Ranger did this back in November. I just remember that my personal memories of it was depending on where you were in the theater, depended on when you were there how well you heard the orchestra. If you were in certain parts, didn't hear the orchestra as much. If you were towards the back or in the middle, you heard it more. I remember I think I went upstairs and you could definitely hear it, the orchestra was recorded separately, so they could obviously mix it higher on this record. I think the song that stood out to me was Call My Name. I just remember there's maybe a fog and a mist, and you had that orchestra playing while Jack was just up there singing. So that was definitely a highlight that I remember. And so Brent, what do you remember from the old Ed Ripepi, Danny Ripepi Memorial Show with the Contemporary Youth Orchestra, November 9th, 2000?
As far as the crowd goes, I was overwhelmed when we walked in to the winking. I always want to say leaking lizard.
That's a different place.
That's
Brent.
a different place. But you wanted to go. The winking lizard.
$20 is $20.
Yeah. And, just seeing how many people from the page were there. I mean, Robin, when you were there, you saw it. It just was amazing.
Brent, give him a little context. So before the night before, and I think after the show, we had a Fans of Motion get together, right? And Leaking Lizard, or as Brent likes to say, the leaking lizard, or lizard in my mouth, whatever.
You said it.
was kind of like your regular restaurant bar type atmosphere, and like sports bar. And so we had it the night before the show, and then we all got together after the show, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, now continue on.
Yeah. So seeing that many people and meeting some people for the first time, but knowing pretty much everybody, and going into that concert, the energy between all of us was fantastic. Fantastic.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you turn around and oh my God, if it wasn't for Fans of Motion, I wouldn't know anybody here but Andy over there and Josh sitting there. That's before you had your what do you call it? I don't want to be doing what is to Josh. Josh had that selfie stick.
Oh.
Yeah. So if the video that was out today, you see Janice in the front row, and it pans over, and there's Josh with his iPhone out. It's hysterical. But no, when the Contemporary Youth Orchestra, like Josh said, it was kind of hard hearing them sometimes, but we definitely heard the intro when they came out that Eric that pre-recorded, that you hear now at the concerts, and they did it with just such finesse. It was beautiful. Those kids
Paul
are,
and Amy really heard it too.
yeah, they're so talented, and the guys were so on it. And what do they only have to stop it twice to do edits? I believe that. I mean, I think that was it, because I know they stopped it, and Jack and Carrie had to go back up on the riser and pose the same they were.
Or wasn't that for
that
the
was during
news?
Night Ranger?
Wasn't that for the news though? Like Fox was there and they were doing it for like the live shots.
No, it was something about the recording, and they wanted.
Okay.
It was something when they were recording they didn't like. I guess somebody missed something or whatever.
Was it coming out of
Night Ranger?
Yeah, coming out of the Night Ranger. I think there
was 2 times too.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. There's twice they stopped it.
The part one I remember coming out of Night Ranger, I think, maybe like Kelly and Brad were in one spot, and maybe Carrie and Jack were in another, if I remember correctly. And so it quite didn't mesh, obviously, and so they had to take it from there. So I think it was after the drum solo. Which,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you've ever been to any, set recording like that in either a concert setting or like comedians and stuff like that, it's, it's not, recorded all the way through. It's don't get that.
It's stopping.
Get that illusion.
But they almost did it. They almost did it.
But Robin, what are your memories from that night besides seeing my smiling face?
I'll look at you. Well, I obviously definitely first think of the Winking Lizard because that was just so fun. And, it's like it's down the street from my house. It's like 10-15 minutes away from me. So it's just crazy to have this awesome meetup and this awesome show, like right around the corner almost. And, and it's Mark Greenway comes too. And it's like right around the corner, and him with everyone's vibe of, everyone wanting to talk to him too, and just getting to know everybody before the show too, just furthered the closeness. And then the little meetup at the show, like before and after, I think they played. And then I don't remember when it was decided, but they're like, we're going to the Winking Lizard, and everyone was like, I want to come too.
We were outside in the cold, I remember, after the show, and we're going to go down here. No, we're going to go down here. And everybody realized, oh, well, that's closing in 10 minutes. I remember that. Yeah. So we all, since the hotels were all right next to the Lizard, that's where we went.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Oh, Josh,
you were highly intoxicated, so
well, you know me.
Probably just remember jerking off behind a dumpster.
I don't remember much of the night. There's a lot of a blackout. Oh wait, no, that was somebody else.
That was somebody else.
It was, honestly, to me, it was such a culmination of what Fans in Motion started out to be and what it became, with this mass gathering of just people that love this band, and of course for a great cause. And then of course the whole Mark's story from coming from England. I mean, it was epic. If the proper definition of the word epic, that was an epic weekend for us. And that show was just amazing. And I was lucky enough where I was sitting, because Josh, I don't know, you probably didn't really get to sit much. You were running around, I think, most of the time, but I had a seat, and I was sitting right behind Orion and Mark, because Mark's seat was right next to them. And I get to witness this chaos and make friends with Orion, because I only knew him from the page, and this guy's a madman.
It's W Orion.
W Orion Fairman
specifically
himself. And and then going back, I remember, Josh, I forget which night, when you came back with Eric, kind of surprised everybody. And
the second night.
That was the second night. Yeah, because originally we went out after the show with me and Eric and Carrie and a couple of his buddies, and we went to a couple of places, and like places were closed. We ended up finding this one bar, and we drank a couple beers there. And I think I texted one of you guys and said, "Don't let anybody leave."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Josh just texted me, don't anybody leave, but don't tell him why. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, that should be
I
easy.
think you were telling me to not leave, but you didn't tell
Yeah.
me to tell other people. You're
Well,
just
it was kind of like one of those things, like
They would have regretted it.
we wanted, Carrie invited us out. So it's kind of like, okay, let's go have a couple beers and then let's go to the Winking Lizard. And it just took a tad bit longer because we couldn't find, any place that was open. And then we had our couple beers, and then we headed to the Winking Lizard. And it was great that we could do that, just, because we had this whole separate like area to ourselves with probably 30. I mean, I think Brent counted at one time. I don't know if it was the night before. I think there was like 47 and a half people there.
The employees were probably like, oh my, oh no, they're back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, please unplug the jukebox.
But, that second night, there was probably, like, it wasn't as crowded as it was the first night, but I'd say there's still 30 people there, and everybody got to meet Eric. And did Ed stop by that night or the night before? Probably the night before.
With his nephew? Was his nephew?
Frank. So it would have been night before. He would have been too goddamn busy that night. So
I think so.
So the night before, Ed stopped by, and then we got Eric to stop by and do photos and everything else with everyone. So
I also want to say too, I had been the one to get Dave Nadelman's ticket. So if you go on the Facebook page, I highly documented pretty much almost every song and like every important thing that pretty much happened.
I was going to bring him up.
I made sure he got the view that he would have had because his father had died, and the day before.
So you had his ticket. Right. Is that what you're saying, Robin? Oh, yeah,
so I got his view of what he would have had. So I made. That's why I took so many.
Yeah, that's great. I know we all did a toast to him and his family, his dad.
Oh, Chapin had the sign thing too.
That's right.
And it was touching,
all these memories.
We all got the pleasure to meet Dave the year before at the Danny Ripepi Memorial concert, and that's what's so fantastic about this page and bringing everybody together. You get to know people, and God, it's just fantastic. And who was the girl that couldn't make it the year before that Tom had signs?
Peggy or
no,
Soros,
Patty
Soros, yes. Yeah. And and he was taking care of Patty the year before because she couldn't make it.
Let you guys know, I'm not going to go into details and all that stuff, but recently I was able to somewhat make it up to Nadelman for missing that show.
Very good.
He got some,
Dave's he's a good dude.
So obviously he can't make up seeing the show, but
but he knew we had him in our hearts. He knew it.
He was at the first one too.
I didn't have my heart's cold, so
yeah.
Might have been in your fucking hearts.
Getting on to the show, which I think we've all probably seen or at least heard part of the clip. Initially, Josh, and we've talked about this before, was the audio, because in the venue, some of the songs you couldn't really hear the symphony, and you had kind of, I think, talked to somebody, and we did the interview with a guy that said it'll be mixed better. Yeah. And having now heard that, it does sound fantastic, and I'm super excited about it. And all I heard was when Josh was announcing the releases, is I'm going to be spending some more money that I really can't afford buying multiple copies of things and Blu-rays and vinyls, and I'm like, I still don't even have a vinyl player, and I've got 7 copies of ATBPO.
I don't think it's too bad. I mean, listen, if you can get a double record, right, a CD, DVD, and a Blu-ray for under $90, I mean,
the prices don't look bad, but if they're going to have limited edition vinyls, that might.
No,
it would be nice if they had like a bigger bundle that included all that with the box set, even a little bit.
Well, let's not get quite ahead of ourselves.
I do want to caution everybody. This one here came out by itself on Blu-ray. even though you got the DVD if you bought the CD DVD set. But the Blu-ray, I mean, they print up so many and they're done. They're out of print. So these go anywhere between $70 to $100 and something on the internet. Most of them coming out of Japan, which costs you $25 for shipping. So if your intentions are to get a high def copy, you better go ahead and order this. The only difference in Japan was when this came out, they also did a CD Blu-ray release in Japan of that. But your standard is going to be your DVD. So if you want a high def copy, you better go ahead and order it, because once they're gone, they're going to be scarce.
Yeah. Hey, what are we going to call this record?
Are they doing CDs separate?
How about 40 years in a night? I don't think that's been used.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Print.
yeah.
Print. Send it to print, sir.
Yeah. So, I mean, can you imagine if they had done it one night later, it would be 40 years and 2 nights?
2 nights.
Yeah. I mean, for them to be that close, not only in 2017 with 35 years.
Wasn't it on a Wednesday night too?
Yeah. And I'm surprised they didn't say in Cleveland with the symphony orchestra,
So
because
let's get into the set list a little bit. So the set list that is being released, let me get to it here. So this is the set list that will be on the release. Hopefully a lot of people didn't comment. My lord, people. All right, so here is the set list of the record and CD. Still Rockin' America. Well, intro.
Right? Dude. Don't forget the intro, dude.
Intro. You can still Rockin' America for Revelation 4 a.m. Sing Me Away. Call My Name, Sentimental Street, High Road, Night Ranger, Goodbye, When You Close Your Eyes, and Sister Christian, and the bonus track, and Japan Will Be High Enough. So, just with this, I think this is going to be the first time you have Call My Name on a live record. The High Road was on the 2017 release, right?
Was that just a DVD, Brent, or it did have the CD with it too?
Yeah, well, it was on the
Brent's
CD.
Got it right there.
So it was on there. So that's not really new.
Just a different version of it.
And High Enough has not been re-recorded or anything by Night Ranger and released. Now they have done Coming of Age. That was a bonus track for one of the digital releases for Somewhere in California. So you got really Call My Name is, hey, here we go, guys. Let's see what this is all about.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
Tell him I said hi.
Here.
Go.
As he's taking him off.
As you were talking about, there's Tom.
Yeah.
Chapin with his We Love Dave.
Tough to see, but yeah, you can
here.
See
I can make it darker. There we go. It should come up now.
I was just looking, guys. My like you can't see it, but anyway, an email did come out shortly about the the release. Oh shit, I'm going down here. Dang it, this has not been a good day for me. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if you can see it. Where's my camera? But check your email if you're on the mailing list. The email's out, and it talks about 40 Years in a Night with Contemporary Youth Orchestra will be available on CD, vinyl, including limited editions, DVD, Blu-ray, and digitally. The album was a one-of-a-kind recording, blah, 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 and tour dates. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what the limited editions are going to be. I'm sure it's going to be on the vinyl and colored vinyl and all that fun stuff. But then it's like, how much do we spend? How much do I have to spend?
We already know there. Well,
I don't have anything.
We're going to get ahead of Josh, because he's going to talk about all that.
I don't care. Josh isn't going to listen to this part of it. He's going to, when he edits,
probably going to edit it out.
I'll tell you here. I'm going to make it about
Especially if
me.
we talk gibberish.
What I thought was cool that night was
Exactly.
I'm standing there
Josh.
watching
God
the
damn
show.
it, guys.
Josh
Shut
is a
up.
spaz. Look at him. Oh, look, my head hurts. I've rubbed all my hair off. Hi guys, how you doing? So Ed, yeah, I'm talking to these yahoos right now. Stupid podcast I got to do. Yeah.
This is just a random impromptu roast
Just see
session
if he
while
actually
he's
listens.
editing.
If he listens, just Brett and I really run the whole thing. Josh has nothing to do with any of this. We let him think he's in charge, but he's not. Go ahead.
I haven't
Brett.
seen y'all in a while.
I'm busy. I'm building a podcast empire. I did 5 podcasts. Hey, let's promote my other shows. So I do Flick Flops. I recorded 2 episodes of Flick Flops coming up, and then I did 3 episodes with Mark, the Bonding podcast. So you gotta when you move on from Fans in Motion, you want to go to Flick Flops, and then the Bonding. So you want more Mark Greenaway, Bonding.
Man, Mark knows a ton about Ian Fleming.
He does. Mark has odd knowledge of James
So he's
Bond.
definitely clipping that.
The fact that
hair.
The fact that he smoked 80 cigarettes a day.
You listened.
Blew me away. Well, I kind of like you.
You go.
I've only grown up with you since 1982, 81, whatever.
Since Night Ranger.
Well, we met right before Kiss Meets our Kiss Music from the Elder came out.
All right, he's coming back. Shh.
Anyway, what I was going to say.
I think Josh is doing a great job, and we should make sure he knows that before you guys talk about him.
Oh, you motherfucking. Is that your nose in my asshole?
What I thought was interesting, he's talking to Ed. He's like, I don't think they can see my right hand down here.
Yeah. Fuck no, man. I'm a pervert. I'd let you guys see it.
Sexual harassment.
He has not signed the paperwork, apparently, Robin.
Where's HR?
You left off on High Road.
Yeah, so High Road is on the record, but again, it's already been on a live record. I wish something else would have replaced it, but we got Call My Name.
Yes,
whatever. I'm not complaining. Now, we went through the set list. Now, there are 3 songs that they played that night that were left off this record. You guys remember any of them?
I don't remember the set list that's on the record, but I know they did Secret of My Success. Is that correct?
Ding. Yep. Good one to leave off.
For Josh's request.
Trying to think. Like I said, I don't.
Didn't they do something off the new album, ATBPO?
They did. Breakout.
Yeah, Breakout and Coming of Age. I'm just trying to remember.
Well, I know it wasn't Rain Comes Crashing Down because that.
No.
Awesome.
You didn't? Did you say "Don't Tell Me You Love Me"? Because I don't know if I heard that. I mean, it sounds obvious. But like,
are you going to point out the error, Josh? Or are we going to let that just slide or wait for later?
Well, you won't find it now, but originally on one of the, I think on Frontiers, they originally listed the 3rd track as Revelation 4 a.m., which is a track off Hole in the Sun. And they have probably never played live.
Never played that live.
I had to get that fixed. Yeah, Don't Tell Me You Love Me is on there. But I guess the only thing from a fan's point of view is I would love to see High Road taken off and Breakout on, just because we don't have a live version of Breakout. Now, High Road, great live song. It probably flows better. There's a few of us out there that probably will even notice that and care. So whatever. But that would be my only thing. And
I agree.
So you got those 3 tracks that are out there, high enough, again, not used unless you get the Japanese version, which I know someone had asked, how do we get that information? I mean, you can probably go on there and get a Japanese version right now, but I would say just hold off until things kind of settle down and there's actually probably a good decent, you could probably order from Walmart. They probably got a distributor there and you can get it for a decent price. So so there you go. That's the set list. So the formats that this
What was the other song they left off? You didn't say.
Rumors.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember what the last song.
Which Rumors was on live or whatever, Rock in 97, the Tokyo show that's been re-released 100 times with a different Greatest Hits Live is probably what you see it now with Cleopatra, but originally it was released 1997. And it had the lenticular cover where you could kind of move it back and forth, and it didn't really fucking move much. It was just Jack, you had Jeff and Brad on the side. But anyways, so Rumors was on that. So official live releases, Rumors has been out there, but like I said, it'd been nice to I guess is Secret. I guess now you think of it, is Secret of My Success been?
It's not on anything that I know of.
I mean, that's,
now that you talk about that,
like it wasn't on live in Japan.
Weeps and fan.
It wasn't on the.
It's on this.
Is it on that record?
Yeah, it's on this.
All right. So,
so many live albums, I lose track.
So, all right. So we got. So
I do love Breakout on the new album, so it does suck to not hear that as a live release.
Yeah, and maybe when you hear the orchestra, maybe like because you do have High Road has that, that stuff kind of a little bit running through there. I'm pretty sure if you dig deep, I think those notes are some of the same notes used in that intro or from High Road. So, so it probably makes it a little bit better for the orchestra. October 20th, 2023 will be the release date. So we got 5, I guess, ways that you can get it. You're going to have the CD plus DVD. Now the question is, will that be a digipack? Now I know if you go to the Frontiers European site, it's a jewel case. It says so in the title. So Brent, I know how much you hate digipacks. So a digipack would be I don't know if I got one, but it's like
it's the cardboard sleeves.
Cardboard sleeves. So if you go to Frontiers Europe site, it specifically says it's going to be in a jewel case. You have the DVD, which I don't know if it's going to be released separately as a DVD, but the CD is being advertised as the CD DVD. Yeah. So I think that will just be a combination of one. You have the Blu-ray, which we've talked about a little bit with, that it's probably going to be the first one to go out of print. You have digital, and then you have the vinyl.
But no digital video. There's no digital video that I saw being offered.
I
So CD separate, CD, DVD, and no DVD separate, just the Blu-ray separate?
Just the Blu-ray separate.
I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, there are releases out there on Frontiers that do have Blu-ray releases and a separate DVD release. There are Frontier stuff out there. So it could be.
Like I miss when it used to all be in one. You would get like a digital copy, a DVD, and a Blu-ray all in the same case. Remember those days?
But that's with a movie.
Well,
they used to do that with the movies.
Any DVD. I don't think it mattered.
So,
I don't
know. So right now you can get on there and order any of the 3. You can get the CD, DVD, the Blu-ray, or the vinyl. Now, the only place they're offering it for sale right now, at least while we speak, is the Frontiers website. Now, make sure there's 2 Frontier websites. You got Frontiers USA, Frontiers Europe. So, if you're in the United States, guess which one you're going to pick? USA, mofo. So
unless you want the jewel case, right?
Well, unless you want jewel case, and you probably got it. I don't know for sure if it's digipack. On Brent, go look at it. But I do know on the European one, it said straight up jewel case. So you got, and if you go to these links that are on the Night Ranger pages and everything else, it takes you straight to, the Night Ranger section. Right at the top, you can get the Wasted Time 45 on green vinyl that has the 2 new tracks that were recorded during the ATPPO sessions that are great.
Which would have been great if they'd put those on this as bonus tracks.
Anyways, So, anyways, you can get that for $5. You can get the ATVPO CD for $5, and you can get decent turntables for $50-$60 nowadays. So,
I've seen them in Walmart recently. Turntables.
If you want to spend about $75-$80, I will get a hold of me. I will send you a link to a turntable that is better than some of my $500 turntables. I got a lot of fucking turntables. $300 ones. You know,
what brand is it?
I can't remember now, but
mine's a Pioneer.
Well, you're probably going. That's probably not a new one though, right? You're talking about one from like the 90s or 80s.
90s,
yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about new stuff. So,
I think they still make them though.
Anyway. Maybe. Anyway, so but I will, like I said, I've highly recommend this one. I can't remember the name brand, but actually Kelly, we were talking a year ago or so, and he, I just want one that doesn't cost a lot, just so I can play a few records. And I was like, dude, $75 Amazon, send him the link, and he bought it. So, and like I said, I had others. I think I gave that to my kid's mom. She was wanting a record player. I didn't have it hooked up because I had some nicer, newer ones. And some of these nicer, newer ones are just, I'm like, God, no matter how much you adjust it and everything else, the tone arm, it's a turd. But anyways, buy a turntable. So if you go to the links, it'll take you to like the Night Ranger section. You got Wasted Time, ATBO for each $5. You got the vinyl, DVD, or the CD, DVD, and the Blu-ray. And also there for convenience, I think you got some Revelation Saints and the new Joel Hoekstra record. So now there's supposed to be some limited edition vinyl. Right now there's no really info on that. I guess your first guess would be that there's going to be different colors for maybe some different groups. Maybe like for ATBPO, the general release was red vinyl. The website, the web store had its yellow version. The Frontiers had a version for just their store, like a crystal.
My favorite one.
And what color? Blue. There was a blue one from Newberry Comics. So there is the possibility they could do a different color. There's also two different covers that are out there. The cover that's been on everything today has been the cover with the Les Paul. So you got the Les Paul and the violin there. All right. But if you look at this one here, and Brent's got it up. Now this one's got Bubba. All right. So and it's got the airplane. I'm not sure, what's exactly, I know it's Seven Wishes related, but Seven Wishes ain't 40 years. It's like
Midnight Madness is, right?
Well, this when this was recorded, it would have been Dawn Patrol. So it's like, if you're just going to throw the damn, the B-29 Mitchell or whatever that is on there, why not just throw the fucking the satellite?
Well, wait, it was in November, right? When did "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" as a single come out? Because it was November, December. I remember my mom told me the story about how Photograph and "Don't Tell Me You Love Me" both came out like within a few weeks of each other at the end of 82.
Don't Tell Me You Love Me would have been probably, like Brent said, October, and then we don't know an exact date. We know probably somewhere middle to end of November was probably the release date of Dawn Patrol. But it's just random. Just, hey, what are we going to throw on here? Let's throw the bomber on. It's like at that point you could just throw, like I said, the satellite dishes on, or you could get the astronaut from the back of Midnight Madness or something on there. So
when we spoke to Kelly that time, Kelly said they have very little to anything. They have their own art department of Frontiers. So they basically presented to the band.
I mean, I'm not saying that. It's just, where the fuck does the bomber come in? But anyway, so eventually maybe there's going to be some limited editions of the vinyls. They're saying so in the press release, but there's no information. Like I said, we do know there's two cover. Now the only thing I think that would be cool if they Um, put one with Jack's bass. That'd be kind of neat. You'd have 3. Then if you really want to get fancy pants, you put Kelly or you put Eric's keyboards up there, and then maybe like a drumstick or something. A drumstick with the snare kind of filling out the rest at the bottom. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what we got to figure out. We got to figure out what limited edition vinyl that I'm going to be spending money on, and how we, what Japanese versions are going to be out there with high enough on
They
it.
get all the good stuff.
Yeah, and we'll post all the links as we find it to make sure everybody knows about it. And we probably should try to find out what else is coming out on October 20th and see what we could do chart-wise on this sucker like we tried to do on the last one.
Well, here's the thing. If you're a friend of Ed, Ed, I think, I think it's going to make him happy to see it do well and sell well, just because, this was his, his tribute to his brother, even though I don't think like the product, at least what we're getting at, at the very front end here, doesn't really mention that it was this memorial show. That's what it was. Right. So, listen,
the Cleveland Rock shirt was awesome. I don't know if it mentioned, it should have said his name on that too.
Well, the Cleveland Rock shirt, here's a good little story. I probably would have forgot. I was I want to name drop here a little bit, but I was at I think it was the Deer Creek show or whatever in Noblesville, and in between sets or something. Anyways, I'm backstage, back in one of these little hallways, and me and Norm, friend of the podcast, Norm Voss, bass player for Bret Michaels, and Mark McGrath. The 3 of us were standing there bullshitting. And I don't remember exactly what about, but I do remember that Mark McGrath, I had the Night Ranger Ripepi shirt on, and he started looking at it. He's like, man, that's a cool fucking shirt, man. And he, I was like, well, they got one that they, that's out there, but without anything on the back. And I showed him the sleeves, and like the sleeves, I don't know if I like the writing,
the font.
Yeah, but when it's, you pull it up a little bit, who the fuck can tell, right? But
I love the music notes. I'm obviously from Cleveland, and I've always loved that song from the Drew Carey show. So like, I think it's perfect. And I love how don't the sleeves have like the little cinch, like they're tighter at the wrist. I love that.
Look, we got the and we can't hear you, Andrew. You're on mute. I wish Brent would have that problem. But anyways, I got a hold of Ed. It's like, hey man, you need to give old McGrath one of your shirts there. But anyways, I don't know where I was going after that.
Well, I was going to bring up, you were talking about the memorial. Goodbye is on the set list, and they ran that video montage on the stage, so that's going to be in the Blu-ray and the DVD. I'm certain of it. You're going to see that in the background.
You may see it in the background, but you can also, during that montage, show angles that don't have that if they don't want.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct.
I mean, so we'll see how much.
You think they'll have the cake at the end?
Don't know.
On the DVD.
But,
and who knows how much stuff they're going to give us on. Oh, there you are. Who knows what they're going to give us on the behind the scenes, or any kind of.
Well, I can tell you this, and you see it a little bit on the small "You Can Still Rock in America" clip, right? But like if you listen to the podcast, you've already gotten tidbits of this throughout the year. I don't know where I was at, but it's weird. I can remember exactly what the room looked like. Anyways, it was maybe Cincinnati. When they were playing Renfro Valley the night before, I think we stayed in Cincinnati and then moved down to like Louisville, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we were up there, and I just remember, you got this great view, and Ed's like, "Here, watch this," and he turns on, pushes play on the laptop, and it's it's the Donkey Show from Tijuana, the second show, not the first, but the second. But no, he pushes play, and it's the beginning. I'd already seen like a rough draft of it or whatever, and that was great. This was even more edited, and the beginning is now I only saw some of it, so I'm sure there's more, but you saw like behind the scenes like rehearsals. You had interviews with each of the guys talking about
Nice.
the show. Trying to think what else. So you have all that, and it's really well done. So it's not going to be just the concert unless
Good.
they fucking change something on me here. But from what I saw was like pretty much going to be the final version. You had like I said, I saw the beginning where it's them talking to the kids, and Night Ranger the day before rehearsing with them, and Brad separately doing an interview, and then all the guys. So there's a lot there that I think you guys are going to see. That's cool. And then I remember, I was up there for a while because I sat through like maybe the first 3 songs, and then we jumped ahead to maybe like Call My Name, and just the visual of it, the quality of the picture. Now, again, the sound was good, but I'm listening to it on a laptop. But the visuals of it were fantastic. So if you've got these 4K TVs and you've got a good, TV at home, which most TVs now are pretty damn good, get the Blu-ray, because this shit was filmed on. I think they had 18 different cameras there, if I remember correctly.
I'm scared to see myself on Blu-ray.
I hope they at least got some decent shots of the crowd, and maybe a lot of us.
And the guy giving
motion.
Brad the little guitar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that
the video of that
where
the
Janice
jokes.
was in that row, so I was at the end of my row, then it's aisle, and then it's where Janice and all of them were sitting. They came out with the little mobile camera and went through their row, so
yeah,
you may see some of that there. So I mean, listen,
I remember one was like really slowly and like stopped at me, and then like went that way.
You're like, yeah, metal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a guy I saw that looked at he's edit this part out.
Who are
I'm
these
joking.
people?
But yeah, like I said, it's it's still fun, and I mean that when this is released, what, Kelly's going to be 71, Jack's 69 and a half. Carrie's
69, dude.
Yeah, Carrie's going to have a birthday by then. Eric will have another birthday. So like, these guys are getting up there. Night Rangers obviously, getting a little bit past the 40 years now. We're almost 2 years into it. So to be getting a new record, and and I kind of like the album cover. I mean, I like the, especially the Bubba,
yeah, that's the best
there.
one.
That
And
with the plane too.
Well, I don't know about the fucking
You should
plane,
ask Brad.
but I like the colors. I kind of like that. You don't usually with the purple and the purple and the black and everything. I don't know.
It's Man in Motion-y.
Yeah, for Night Ranger,
Yeah.
it's actually pretty good. I mean, we've had.
I mean, I like the purple too, because they usually do like the whole red, white, and blue, and then like gold, the yellow, and it's my favorite colors are green and purple, so it's nice to see like a little purple.
Well, with Andy, when we ranked album covers, so go back into the.
I remember the Survivor.
We were talking about Neverland, and he's like, "It looks like they just put the Night Ranger logo over my countertop."
Kitchen counter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
yeah. Can we blame Frontiers for that one too?
And it's like, and then you get the record that's actually like a cool cover, ATBPO, and then you get that title, right? It's like,
yeah,
it's like acronyms are created because you don't want to say the thing, the full thing, but acronyms also got to like be able to be pronounced. right?
Yeah.
Like you know, AFRICOM, right? Africa Command.
Oh,
You know, I'm thinking of all like my military stuff.
You don't just walk on going ATBO all the time.
So
Hey,
you know, Figo, fuck it, I got my orders.
FUBAR.
You know, you have those, you know,
That's
and
my life today. FUBAR.
so like you know, you can't pronounce ATBPO. So yeah, anyways, there you go. So what do you, if you guys pre-ordered, what do you got? I went through and I ordered one of everything, but I only got one order of the vinyl just because usually I get my kid a set too. Because I don't know what other colors and stuff are going to come out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you guys, Robin, did you say fuck this month's rent and just go through and clickety click out?
Not this time, but I'm definitely getting a Blu-ray of that because Cleveland and Night Ranger.
Yeah.
Now,
Nothing else.
I think if you
Seeing
go,
everyone in the crowd that I know is going to be a new experience. Like, I think there was supposed to be a King Diamond live DVD. I don't think it ever happened, but that was like the only other time that I've been like at a live DVD thing. Like, it would have been, I barely knew anyone there, and the fact that like even in the crowd, I'm gonna be like, oh, that person, like it's gonna be fun.
Robin, Andy and
Yeah.
I went to see Paul Stanley in Chicago on a solo tour, and they filmed the show and released it. And I had to go through that thing. I mean, if you blink, if you pause it right on the right spot on what was it, Hide Your Heart, Andy?
Sure.
You see Andy, myself, and Bobby. And the only reason I know it's us because I wore my bright orange Chad Johnson jersey into Chicago, so we'd stick out on the camera.
I got
You know.
they had cameras in the lobby and they had fans like talking to the camera and stuff too. So I was like,
Did you do that?
I talked
I
to
know
him
Melissa did.
That's cool.
because I was like, yeah, King Diamond and Rob Halford, they're like amazing, blah 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 blah. Like it was like a whole thing. I was so excited for it to
right, before we get too sidetracked, I want to get back to ordering. If you go and you order, and you know, there's a part where you put in your credit card information or how you're going to pay. There is shop pay there. And I've used it before. I didn't use it on this one, but basically what you can do is, let's say you want to order $200 or $100 worth, whatever, right? They'll split it up into 4 payments. There's no interest. And it's 4 payments every 2 weeks. It'll automatically be deducted. So if you go in there and you order everything, let's say it's $100, you'll pay $25 today. In 2 weeks, they'll charge your credit card the next 25. And so, you know, like I said, that's an option, and it's legit. I mean, I've used it in the past.
Used it, and I think you need to spend a minimum of $50 or something like that to use it. Like you can't just like buy something for $20.
It'll offer it. It'll offer it if you hit the magic number.
Listen, if you're splitting $40 up into 4 payments, you probably don't need to be buying some Night Ranger shit. Yeah. So there's, you know, that option. I know Brent will be buying, you know, all 3. He definitely will be buying the vinyl because he wants to listen to it on vinyl. He loves the sound.
He definitely wants the DVD to find himself in the crowd.
Blu-ray. I want the Blu-ray.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never watch the DVD because it's inferior.
It's inferior.
Watch them have extra bonus stuff on just the DVD.
Well, he'll find out about it. Then he'll have it. Because if it comes in like a pack, we get the CD and the DVD, he'll have it.
You know, a lot of the older DVDs like actually have a lot more of the special features and all that stuff. When they started re-releasing stuff on Blu-ray, it was like just the movie. And maybe like a deleted scene or 2.
Yeah. Some of the movies I've watched, I wish they'd put a better script on the damn thing.
You know, when you have a podcast called Flip Flops where you watch shitty movies, you've kind of pigeonholed your end to, you know.
The only movie I've ever walked out on in the theater was this one with Kristen Stewart at a roller coaster amusement park. Oh my god, I walked out halfway through it. Adventureland or something like that.
Right now.
Yeah, it's,
That
It
sounds
wasn't
like
Adventureland, but it looks like it is, and it's
something I'm looking forward to.
Andy has a podcast called looking at turds, and then he bitches about I'm just looking at turds all day.
I just look at turds all day. It sucks.
It's fucking
This
horrible.
never
this
paid
one we
for a
call
movie and
it
walked out
this
before
one we
that.
call it Snickers because it's packed with peanuts.
But back to the ordering. I'll probably order. I'll definitely order the Blu-ray and probably the vinyl. Yeah, but
I want
I should probably do it
yeah.
tonight before I forget about it.
You
I
need
just haven't done it yet.
You need the CD.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to see what comes on.
Yeah.
Where?
I mean, I'm waiting to see if there's any bonuses anywhere.
Because,
and all
A
that
bonus
crap.
track CD too.
I mean, I don't know. It might be cheaper. I've got tons of Amazon gift cards. It'll pay for itself. So that's the route I'm going
I
to
just
take
want to make
on
sure
it.
I get the Blu-ray. That's the
Yeah.
main thing.
Because, like I said, once that's gone, it's gone. It's tough.
Do you see them like venturing out like Frontiers to Target or something when it's getting closer to the date?
I mean, I think if they're going to do anything, you're going to have
Be on the Night Ranger site.
I mean, you may have a. I don't know.
Newberry.
I mean, I don't think they'll have Newberry again. I think you maybe could have an Amazon.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing: the Frontiers is black vinyl. So, I just don't.
Night Ranger could have a colored vinyl, but only through
Yeah.
Night Rangers,
Well,
maybe.
so when they
Maybe.
say these limited editions, the only thing I'm thinking more of is album cover, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You would think Frontiers would have the, like the regular release would be a black vinyl, and then Frontiers would have a different color.
Well, they
So
might
we'll
only
see.
be doing the one and giving it to the stores to sell there, like they did with Newberry Comics, and
They might sell both, and they just don't have it.
and we might get lucky and get a Talk
properly.
Shop Live again and get a CD or vinyl signed at pretty much face value. What was it, Target that offered ATBPO as well, autographed? I think they're still on their website.
That's why I was asking.
I don't know if ATBO is
But
still on their sign, but yes, you could get ATBPO signed off of Target for like $12 there for a while.
And that came out months after it came out for regular release.
Well, I think I was there with them, 3 months after that was released.
Yeah.
And they had a whole bunch of CD books that we were setting up. What the fuck are we signing these for? It's like that one's been out. So they'd set something up. But
I know Judas Priest is a bigger band, but when they re-released Turbo, they had a bunch of different like bundles, like some with the cassette, some with the shirt, and there's like between 3 and 6 items per package, and they were all mix matched. And there's some like 4-item packages, but one might have included a shirt, but one didn't. Like some might have had more of the music or that would be fun.
I just don't know if Night Ranger's got the, obviously there's, us, right, who would buy a bundle, but
with the poster or something.
But does it, when you gotta, design the stuff, you've got to order it, you've got to have someone, be there to, receive it and then get it out, and package it. Is it worth to do that for 150 bundles, right? Because not, we think there's a ton of us, but I'm talking like money, like,
no,
good
I
chunk
know.
of change. So I don't think
I know Priest is bigger, but it would still be fun,
Well, yeah.
like to have another or do they still sell the Cleveland Rock shirt? Like that would be fun to put into.
It's on the web store.
Yeah.
At least for now. And if you got more money that you just sitting there like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? Van Halen announced Collection 2 box set that's all of the Sammy Hagar studio records remastered, which they have needed remastering. And you can get on CD and vinyl, so it's 5150 OU812 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance, and they've got a 5th record in there of some B-sides, unreleased stuff. So like there was an unreleased track from Balance called Crossing Over, which is really fucking trippy.
And it's one whole album's worth.
well, they put like 9 songs on there, or 10. So you got,
Oh, cool.
so you got the unreleased. Well, it was on the Japanese record, but you have Crossing Over from Balance. You have Humans Being, a remastered version of it that was only on the Twister soundtrack. Um, so and you know what? Listen, Van Halen's got some Night Ranger ties. Obviously, you got Fitz, Brent's old buddy Tucker Williamson, who, if you look on all your Night Ranger records from the very beginning, Tuck was there. He eventually he was the tour manager for Damn Yankees, and then he became tour manager for Van Halen. So, yeah, so you got that. Here, I just want to read what that is here. Doobity doobity doo. All right, so that record is just one thing I gotta figure out what. So I think what it is some of these records are not long enough to they want to make them single records and not have to put them as a double record. So like Apolitical Blues.
Yeah. Bonus track of OU812.
Now was that on the regular record?
It was on the CD. It wasn't on the album.
Huh. Well, if I knew that. That's on the that bonus record. And I can't pronounce it, but Lichitherium, which is I think the drum solo instrumental on Balance. That's not, they don't have it listed on the regular album, and it's on there, but I would assume that's probably for time wise. But then you got Crossing Over, which was the unreleased song from Balance, which is really cool. Respect the Wind, which was on the Twister soundtrack. That's just Eddie Van Halen and Alex Van Halen. Humans Being, possibly my favorite Van Halen track. And that really pisses me off that Hagar left or fired right after that, because I love the direction they were going. Balance was kind of a dark record. Humans Being was a really dark record. I'm like, where are we going after this? And then it got blown up. And then the last 3 songs were the new songs off of the Greatest Hits package when they got back together with Roth in 2004. It's About Time, Up for Breakfast, and Learning to See. Those songs are just
yeah.
But anyways, there you go. So you need more money to spend? There you go. Andrew.
Yeah.
He's back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Fuck.
Anybody got anything to add before we get out of here?
No.
Good. Andy. Hey, let me raise your mic up a little bit. Let me see if you got the right one, or if you're even on the mic stand anymore.
I don't even have any of them on.
Hey, look at this.
I can hear. This is what you're looking for right here, Josh.
All I know is that I hope that we get another big Fans in Motion meetup soon. If it's not going to be the Pepe show, still something else, like a huge one that I'm able to attend.
Here, I'll let you guys in on a little bit here. So it's really not nothing, but so originally it was kind of like a Fans in Motion convention, right? Where we just get a ballroom or something in some hotel, and it's just, we just basically hang out and drink beer, right? Listen to some Night Ranger. Maybe hey, if you got shit you want to trade or sell, bring it. I even started like putting stuff together to like have a table to sell stuff. And I thought, well, now when we first started, I'm like, well, maybe I can get, Levy to come out, and maybe I could get Gary Moon. Now I'm thinking about like a budget, right? And that'd be kind of cool, right? Maybe if I think of someone else, but kind of incorporate that idea with Night Ranger. Maybe we do something big under the Night Ranger umbrella. I'm still hoping that it's some, maybe now that the orchestra shit's done, it can be something that can be done. But if not, maybe we just go back to the old Fans in Motion ragtag thing, and we do another, if they got a show in Indianapolis or something like that, somewhere real central.
Central to the podcast.
Well, central to the Midwest. like I said, Columbus, Indianapolis,
Tennessee,
Nashville.
Well,
Yeah.
if you do Indianapolis or Columbus, you're 6 hours pretty much from everywhere, right? New York City, 7 hours to Columbus. So those are like the ideal places, and we go to whatever Night Ranger show is the one night, and then maybe the night before we would have the film convention or whatever, where for
flea market
for an
Swap
extra
meet.
$5.58 you can get the VIP pass, where you get get your picture taken with Andy and Brent and Rock and Robin and Booze Hound Lisa. If you want your picture with me, you're gonna have to go with like platinum VIP and shell out the
Pabst take
Blue
pictures
ribbon
from behind.
That, and you better have a Alexander Hamilton showing. So all right, so hey, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Hey, pretend like you're still part of this podcast and take us
What
out.
you got? I don't know, man. My mic keeps cutting out on me. I don't know if
Can I say one last thing about the night?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
meant to say it before, but I forgot, and then I remembered. The one photo op that we did after the show, before we went to the Winking Lizard a second time.
Staircase.
Do you remember me shouting from the staircase at somebody from down below? Well, right before the picture.
No.
It was Janet McCaska, and she's a very prestigious Cleveland photographer. She's taken pictures of bands from the maybe the 70s, but definitely the 80s. Definitely auctioned off some of her stuff, and I told her I gave her a shout out on the podcast that her photo is there. So I don't remember if she was part of the page or not, but she definitely checked it out and she was thankful about it. But she's super nice and she has awesome work if you ever want to check it out. She's probably going to do it at some other thing down the line.
That's awesome. Good.
Anyway.
Good on you. Good deal.
I got a split.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching us. Check us out. If you haven't liked or subscribed, you should do it. What the hell's wrong with you? Of course, you haven't liked or subscribed, you're probably not watching.
Hey, we went over 500 subscribers. So thank you.
Ooh.
Did we really?
And we're over 500 subscribers, and we're over 9,000 people on the page. So listen, let's get to 10,000 on
and then we'll shut it
Facebook.
down.
Yeah, and then let's get to I want to get to 666.
Ooh,
the number of the beast.
Oh yeah,
on the Facebook subscribers. So
you and me.
If you want to do it for us or your country, do it for
you,
mighty Satan.
Do it for the Overlord.
Let's
get out of here, Josh. I got dinner to make.
Later. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh shit! Hold on, I just hit something. Fuck me.
Oh no!
I've got a lot of editing.
Fancy motion. Take 3.